if a homeowner can paint a house in 14 days and a professional painter can paint it in 10 days, how long will it take if they work together? This is one of our so-called shared work problems, where we have two people working at usually different rates. They could be working at the same rate, but in this case, two people working at different rates, and they're going to work together to try and accomplish a single task. Right? And so we're going to be talking about some rates. We have the rate of the homeowner. Why don't I call that H? And I know that that rate is such that if I multiply it by the 14 days, I get one complete job done. The job is to paint the house. So the rate of the homeowner times the amount of time that he spends to finish one job. Right? The painter, why don't I call its rate, his or her rate P, multiply that rate by the amount of time. That gets me, again, one job completed. All right. Well, what if they work together? Well, I can take the rate of the homeowner and her rate plus the rate of the painter gives me a combined rate. Multiply that by some amount of time, however long it took them, right? It took them to do what? To paint the entire house. So to finish, again, one job. All right. I know something about H. I know something about P. Namely, from here, divide both sides by 14, I know that H is equal to 1 over 14. From here, divide both sides by 10, I know that P is equal to 1 over 10. So, instead of writing H, I'll write 1/14. Instead of writing P, I'll write 1/10. Times T equals 1. Solve this for T. Right? Okay, divide both sides by this thing, whatever it is. Right? Well, it's 1/14 plus 1/10. Divide that side by 1/14 plus 1/10. That's how much time it takes. Of course, this isn't a very pretty answer, so let's prettify it a little bit. We can do that by combining these fractions down here, adding, and then doing the division, or in other words, getting rid of this complex fraction. So one way to do that is to get a common denominator between our 10 and our 14, do the arithmetic, invert and multiply, or we could just multiply both sides by the common denominator, right? 10 is 2 times 5. 14 is 2 times 7. So our common denominator is going to be 2 times 5 times 7. If I multiply that in the denominator, I'm going to multiply it in the numerator as well. And what happens here? Well, when I multiply 2 times 5 times 7 by 14, the 2 and the 7 cancel with the 14. I'm left with a 5. When I multiply 1/10 by 2 times 5 times 7, the 2 and the 5 cancel with the 10. I'm left with 1 times 7. What happens in the numerator? Well, I have 1 times 2 times 5 times 7, which, you could do the multiplication. 5 times 7 is 35, times 2 is 70. Right? 70 over 5 plus 7. 5 plus 7 is 12. So this is equal to 70 twelfths. And that reduces a little bit. After all, they're at least both even. Right? So I could divide everything by 2. So 35 over 6. And that doesn't reduce anymore. 35 is 5 times 7. 6 is 2 times 3. So 35 sixths of a day, which is more than one day, right? 35 is bigger than 6. This is just 1/6 of a day short of 6 days. So it's going to take 5 days plus most of a 6th day to do the amount of, to do all the work. So almost 6 days. Better than 10 days, better than 14 days. That's for sure. A lot of painting. If you're painting, don't forget to scrape first, otherwise your paint job won't turn out very well. So scrape the house first, and then paint it. Don't forget primer. Primer's important. Anyway, 35 sixths of a day.